Thank you for staying with us on the AM show. Hello, I'm Gary Al Smith, and this is The Sports. Starting with the news that contractors at the University of Ghana Stadium say they are 70% done with the work on the facility ahead of next year's Africa Games. A team made up of the university's Vice-Chancellor, Professor Nana Appiah, Minister of Sports, Mustafa Usif, and some local organizing committee members expected the facility at Legon, which will be used for the Games. There was an assurance to complete the 30% work outstanding before the end of the year. There is more in the following report by my colleague, Kyla Morris.
At some point, as you know, UG is a key partner in organizing these games. At some point, I was concerned that this wasn't going to happen, and it had implications for us also with regard to setting and readjusting our academic calendar. But I've been quite impressed with what I've seen this morning. I see that for all the places that we have been to, the rugby pitch, the games village, and the main stadium, as well as the warm-up pitch, I see that work is progressing steadily. And I believe that when we keep up this pace, by October, November, we should be able to get all the international certification that we need to get. And what will really be left will be aesthetics.
That was Professor Nana Appiah Amfo, Vice-Chancellor of the University of Ghana, who, despite indicating she was impressed with the quality of work on the facilities at the University of Ghana premises, which will be used for the Games, she confessed there are aspects she has slight worries with.
I mean, right here on this field, we've noticed the quality of the grass, which we have pointed out to the contractors, and they have assured us that they are going to work on. On the other hand, too, we are concerned with regard to the refurbishment going on within the student hostels, and for the students to, in the meantime, keep these facilities as they are expected to be kept before the start of the Games.
She led an inspection team made up of Minister for Sport, Mustafa Usif, LOC Chairman, Dr. Kweku Ufusu Asari, the LOC's Deputy Chief Operating Officer, Olympian Rix Broby, as well as Director of Sport at the University of Ghana, Dr. Bella Bello Butugu. The Diaspora Halls and its surrounding environment will be used as the Games Village, where there will be 2 500-seater cafeterias and a clinic. Rooms in the Diaspora Halls will have to be adjusted to meet international standards in order to house the 5,000-plus athletes expected to arrive in Ghana between the 5th and 7th of March 2024. The 2,800 rooms will be fitted with air conditioners and water heating systems.
We have the AC, we changed the lights to LED, fan, we did some tiling, this door was changed. And then...
Can I go through it?
Continuing students at the University of Ghana are scheduled to have a first semester break on February 4th, 2024 to ensure work on the rooms is completed before athletes' arrival. Meanwhile, work at the University of Ghana Stadium has been pegged at 70% complete, with contractors assured work at the stadium and rugby fields will be completed by December, so the pre-game mandatory testing of facilities can be done. There have been public fears Ghana's hosting of the Games is under threat considering the pace of work, but the Minister for Sport did make sure to allay those fears.
We are not grappling at all of meeting deadline. We are on track, and we are going to ensure that the contractors complete the facilities on time for us to be able to do testing. And like you saw, the contractor did indicate that we are almost 70% completion. And some of the facilities are about 80%. The Games Village is almost 85% complete. So to assure the country and to assure you, the media, we'll finish the facilities and we'll do the testing before the Games.
Government of Ghana is so committed to doing these Games. You will you know that since 1965, this is the first time we are getting the opportunity to host the games. And the president has given us every assurance, despite the challenges we are having. COVID, what have you, Ukraine. I'm not a politician anyway. But what is going on recently, elsewhere, I have spoken to so many African countries. Elsewhere, they would have pulled out. But our government is committed to getting things done. And we are hoping that we will host the games and to be one of the best ever in the history of the games.
Dr. Ofosu Asare speaking there in Kyla Morris's report. Now, the tournament is expected to come off in March 2024, but before that, Ghana is set to host the Africa Paralympic Games, and that will be in September this year. Now, a number of games-related infrastructure are yet to be completed in this case as well, risking the start of the competition. As a result, the president of the African Paralympic Committee, Samson Dean, is calling for the postponement of the games from September to November.
We are most grateful to the government of the Republic. We are happy with the kind of support the president has offered us. We are asking that with that kind of support, we think that the government should do more in making sure that the facilities are ready for the games. But unfortunately, as we speak, it will be a bit of difficulty for us to have an opportunity to stage the games at the multi-purpose sport which is being built at Boteman. There is a bit of delay, and we had to scan through Accra, Greater Accra, to look for facilities to stage the games, where we are happy to do basketball at Eden Height in Weja. And then the Bukom Emporium will also host sitting volleyball. We have the Accra Sports Stadium to host football and tennis. And then the Legon Stadium, if we are lucky, but per the reports we received last week, it indicates that we might not be able to have the Legon Stadium for athletics in September.
Why?
The facility is not ready. As we speak, there has been the tracks are not fixed yet. And if you want to stage an international qualification event at the stadium needs to be certified. And for that matter, since it hasn't been certified, tracks are not fixed and all that, it will be very difficult for Ghana to host athletics, which is the most popular sport in parasports. So for that matter, we had a stakeholder consultation, stakeholder meetings with the international federations, and at the same time, the entire African membership, where we have made a bit of proposals to postpone the games from September to November, in able to accommodate these challenges and also try to fix the challenge before time. So the facilities are not.
Right. Let's move to Europe, where some transfer stories are getting the headlines. Beginning in Italy, Inter Milan have rejected Man United's bid of £39 million for Andre Onana in your shot. The Cameroon star is one of the most sought-after goalkeepers, and he has a remarkable turnaround since his difficult days at Ajax, where he was banned for alleged drug offences, and he's now qualified Inter all the way to the Champions League final, and United won him to replace David De Gea, possibly as the number one. However, Inter are holding out. AC Milan are also in the hands for Mason Mount. They want him from Chelsea. They've made a second bid for the Chelsea forward, for Christian Pulisic, not Mason Mount, Christian Pulisic, worth £18.9 million. It's rising all the way to £22 million, we understand. So AC wants him in their team rebuild, and AC look quite excited, even though their signings are not done yet. Arsenal have also agreed, done and dusted, £38.5 million with Urian Timber from Ajax. 38.5 million. Arsenal have agreed also as they rejig their team for the new season for the Premier League onslaught as well. So that's for the transfers. You can get more at myjoyonline.com. 637674 and 75. That was the score as Djokovic continued dominating. He's widely expected to win this tournament, so yeah, we'll see how that one goes. I'm Gary Alsmith, that's the sport for now. MyJoyOnline.com has lots of stories for you. You can see Dr. Patrice Motsepe and his wife, Precious Malloy. They together resolved South Africa's very embarrassing pay dispute that threatened their female national team, their women's national team, Banyana, from going to the Women's World Cup, which starts imminently. So they have sorted a bail, and so the ladies will go to Australia without any problem. Very embarrassing. The Africa Game story is also there. Ghana will not host the continent's best. Ghana will host the continent's best ever competition. That was the assurance from the LOC, of course. You've seen that story here. Also, Kylian Mbappe is in the news. So apparently, guess what? Kylian Mbappe only had a verbal agreement with PSG about staying at the club last year. It was not signed in ink. It was a verbal agreement. And many are questioning whether PSG can enforce that since it was only verbal and not written. We'll see how that runs. You can read details of that on myjoyonline.com. Thanks for your time again. AM Show continues.